Say Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai. First and foremost, want to give our praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders who rule well at Great Millstone. And a blessed salutation to the Akiums in the four corners of the earth, pushing the gospel and sincerity and truth. Shalom. This evening, I call the next lesson to feed the elect of the nation of Israel, 144,000 and 1/3, men, women, and children. No? Want to speak on this topic. These wacky ass Christians, like to say, the Old Testament, done away with, the Old Testament fulfilled, right? And I think like to say, now we're not in the old again, we're in the new, and all these things that don't make no sense, these things contrary to the scriptures, that it was taught, that these lies that was taught, and they swallow up all these lies. I was talking to a sister the other night on the phone, and she was telling me that, when she was in church, they were commanded them not to read Deuteronomy 28 chapter from verse 15 going down, because it would get them scared. And yes, the people supposed to be, you so-called Negroes, Latin, Native Americans, supposed to be scared of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, so he won't transgress his law, so he won't break his law, right? So these is the thing. This is the thing that these false prophets teaching the children of Israel and leading them astray, like not to read the Old Testament, or the Old Testament done away with, So these is the wickedness all going on, right? So you get some scriptures to edify the church, because you're gonna come around these demons. These demons gonna come and tell you the same stubbornness, that the Old Testament done away with, right? And Yahushua came in the volume of the book, in the volume of the book. Yahushua in the Old Testament and in the New Testament, right? This is Matthew chapter 4 verse 4. He said, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word which proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High. So every word from the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament, right? And this is in the New Testament, and this is where Yahweh shall say, right? He said, but he answered and said, it is written. Where it is written in the Old Testament, right? Are we going to get it? It is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh, which is the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament. So how you could be preaching that the word done away with? That is blasphemy, right? That is blasphemy. Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 3. And he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and feed thee with manna, which thou knowest not, neither did thy fathers know. Right? And this happened when you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians came out of the land of Mismarim, which today known as Egypt. Right? The Mosai had been in the wilderness for 40 years, and was starting us these last statutes and commandments. Right? And he said, that he might make thee know that man do not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Lord Yahweh do man live. By every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Lord Yahweh do man live, right? Meaning from the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Apocrypha, the Most I even say he changed not. So how you could preach and tell people, the Old Testament done away with. They still got prophecies in the Old Testament that even fulfill yet. So how you could done away with? You preferring one book over another book, and not supposed to prefer one book over another book, right? This is the wickedness these people doing. You wicked Israelite, right? There's you wicked Israelite teaching the people to err and to transgress the law of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and to do wickedly in the sight of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? This is what you telling people to do, right? This is Ezekiel 3 and 1, right? This is Ezekiel 3 and 1. He said, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go and speak unto the house of Israel. Eat this roll. Let me eat the whole book, right? The whole book he's speaking about. Eat this roll. He didn't say eat piece. He said eat the roll, right? And go and speak unto the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat your mind, right? The mind to comprehend, to understand, right? And fill thy bowels with the roll that I gave thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness, right? So there's this knowledge, right? So you gotta eat this whole roll. You can't prefer the Old Testament over the New Testament, like them anti-Semitic Israelites who don't believe in Yahweh Shai, who don't believe in the New Testament. They sticking to the Old Testament. They think they could go to the Father without Yahweh Shai. These people bugged out. These people bugged out, right? So the Most I tell Jeremiah, eat this whole roll, right? Eat this whole roll. This is Matthew Salaki. Matthew chapter 13, verse 52. Then said he unto them, he said, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven, right? So therefore every scribe, mean the elect that is instructed. How to be instructed? Start with our apostles and elders teaching us these scriptures, being instructed through these scriptures unto the kingdom of heaven, right? What we got to do, to enter into the kingdom of heaven, right? We're being instructed on the path, right? He said, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a housekeeper. Our mind is the housekeeper, this knowledge, right? Yahweh Shai sup with us. The Most I open up our mind that we can understand these dark sayings, these parables, this allegory, right? Understand this thing. And the Most I set up man to teach us. So our mind is the house of this knowledge. This knowledge is large in our mind. So we go out there to teach who to wake up the elect, and also to tell these other heathen nation the destruction, and to tell other people the destruction, right? So he say, Matthew chapter 13, verse 52. Then said he unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an housekeeper, which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old. Out of his treasure mean the scriptures, right? The scriptures, things new and old, from the New Testament and from the Old Testament. You can't prefer one over another. This is a complete book. The Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament is a complete book, right? So you can't say you're not dealing with this and you're not dealing with that. That's black. That's you being a hypocrite, right? You being a hypocrite, and this is what Yahweh Shai say, right? Get a record with Paul. This is Acts, right? This is what Paul say. This is Acts 24. Right? Acts chapter 24, verse 14. But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the power Yahweh of my fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our forefathers, believing all things which are written in the law, in the Old Testament, and in the prophets concerning me. The Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament, Paul believed in everything, right? He tell you that he believed in all things, right? Which are written in the law and in the prophets, right? So the Yahweh Shai came in the volume of the book, right? So you can't be standing on the pulpit and saying, oh, the Old Testament done away with, and these anti-Semitic Israelite, we don't believe in the New Testament. We don't believe in Yahweh Shai. You know, still got they still got prophecy in the Old Testament that didn't fulfill yet. I'll get to that just now, right? It didn't fulfill yet, right? This is Luke. This is what Yahweh Shai say again. This is Luke, right? This is Luke chapter 24, verse 44. And he said unto them, These are the words which I speak unto you, while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled which are written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me. So he said all things must be fulfilled, right? All things must be fulfilled, right? So we can show you certain things that ain't fulfilled yet, right? This is get this one here quick. This is Exodus chapter 19, starting from verse 4. He said, He have seen what I did unto the Egyptian, and how I bear you on eagle's wing, and brought you unto myself. Right? He said, Now therefore, if he will obey my voice indeed and keep my commandments, he said, then he shall be a particular treasurer unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine, and he shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. This ain't happened yet, right? This ain't happened yet, because he said we're gonna be a kingdom of priests, right? And they ain't happened yet. That we're gonna be a kingdom of priests, right? They're gonna happen in the kingdom of heaven, right? We're gonna be a kingdom of priests, right? This is the next one, Isaiah, right? So you people just deceiving the church of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, where y'all gonna deceive, or the tutor gonna be deceived, because y'all teaching lies, right? This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. And he said, And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. The second time. He did it the first time in Egypt, right? Which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Patros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea, right? This isn't fulfilled yet. He said, And he shall set up an ensign for the nation, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, because Israel scattered in all nations, right? In all kingdom, and gathered the spoils of Judah from the fourth corner of the earth. And he said, from the fourth corner of the earth. So this ain't happening yet, because we still scatter among these our enemies, right? Verse 13, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart. The envy of Ephraim, go back to you so-called Puerto Rican, shall depart, and the adversary of Judah, go back to you so-called Negroes, right? You North American Negroes, you West Indian Negroes, and you Haitians Negroes, right? He said, shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. So this prophecy not happened yet, but Judah and Ephraim coming together now. The elect, right, coming together, right? So these prophecy ain't fulfilled yet. So how you could say, the Old Testament done away with, that's a lie. That's basically a lie, right? This is 1 Timothy 5:21, right? It's I charge thee before the power of Yahweh and before the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, that he said that the elect angel, and that thou observe these things, without preferring one before another, doing nothing by partiality. So you can't prefer the Old Testament over the New Testament. You don't deal with the Old Testament, you put the New Testament over the Old Testament. You using John 3:16 to justify that all nations gonna be saved. John 3:16 not speaking about all nation. All race. It's speaking about the Israelites, right? They were speaking about the Israelites, right? So with that, Obis Lessons Edifying, I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honor to the apostles and elders who rule well a great millstone, and a blessed sanitation to the Akiums in the four corners of the earth who pushing the gospel and sincerity and truth. Shalom.